Hey everyone, it's me Rai, and today I'm going to be walking you through how I do a portrait commission or a portrait in watercolor from the beginning stages all the way to the end. We start off by taking reference photos to capture the depth of the model's face, and then afterwards start to go in and capture the photo that will be the reference. Thank you to the model and the parent of the model who gave us permission to be able to show the process from the photos to the painting. I was commissioned to paint his portrait as well as two of his siblings. The parent had seen some of the pool series portraits I was doing and thought it was a great idea to paint him in a pool because he is in swim. And of course, I don't have a swimming pool, so the best way I capture my models and put them in a pool is photographing them outside in the sun. It was a cloudy day, so luckily the sun broke through just on time. And I wanted to show you all the images I took because it usually takes 100 or so images to get the image I need. I'm holding a piece of paper to kind of give reflective light, like if it was shimmering off the water. And the water, I just use references online. I'd look up pool water on Google and just use that to kind of get the impression of pool ripples around the face. So I'm really just trying to capture a good face shot for my reference. For me, a good face shot is being able to have a lot of reflective light so that I see this core shadow here, so I know the depth of the face and I could kind of create a 3D image from it. So you might be thinking, oh, am I going to see all 100 and something photos you took of this model? No, because these children of his actually have posed many times for artists. It's kind of their family tradition to get their portrait painted by a different artist every year. It's such a cool idea. And the kids are pro. So I got this shot, which was going to be the main reference photo. And I got it in just a few dozen photographs, which was really amazing. It went by really fast. It was one of the fastest photo shoots I ever had. So hats off to his two siblings and to him. Once I get the image I need, I'll print it out. I'll tape it down. I just put the Sorel paper, I think that's how you say it, and it's transfer paper. So when you put it face down, the powdery side down onto the paper, it's 100% cotton watercolor paper. Then I could put the photocopy on top and basically trace out the image. Now, a lot of people will be like, that's cheating. But artists for years have been projecting images for hundreds of years already. It's just part of the process. I could draw this on the paper, but then I risk ruining the paper with like a harsh graphite or also with erasing as well. And then you see me erasing. This is just a kneaded eraser though, so I'll just kind of press off some of the extra dust that I don't want. I study his face closely to see the depth of it, and then I keep my main image just as inspiration for the portrait. I get some masking fluid and I start marking off the lightest whites of the face. Basically any pure whites or any shimmers I see that are almost white. This is going to protect the paper for when I do a bunch of washes so I don't have to paint around all these little specks and glimmers of white, including this imaginary water I'm kind of putting around him. I'm going to blow dry it real quick so it's all dry to the touch. So it looks like this. This is Winsor & Newton masking fluid, and it dries a little yellow by design. So you could see it later and lift it off. I got a little bit of watered down burnt sienna or burnt umber, and I'm just painting in some darks and then wetting my brush and kind of blending it out. So that's kind of what you're seeing here. And I fast forward it so that you could see the whole process go in. If you're interested in seeing the whole process unedited, I won't be doing a voiceover, but I'll just be posting the whole process in real time. I think the portrait took like 2 or something hours, but I did take a lot of breaks. So it could be over the span of like 5 hours and several days. I'm starting with all the lights first, so I need to block in the lights of the hair. I blocked in kind of some of the lights in the skin, along with starting to map out the shadows a little. Watercolor is all about layering, so I'll blow dry if I'm on a roll and just keep layering right on top afterwards. Let's take a closer look. Some things like this will happen, little blooms. I embrace it. Some people try to fight it. I am an artist that just kind of likes going with the flow a little bit and trying to allow those things to happen more because I love the way it looks in other people's work. So I'm like, why not embrace it in my own work? Watercolor is a good medium for that to happen because you can see here I'm showing you in real time how beautiful it just bleeds. It's so satisfying. When I look back at a painting when it's finished, it brings back those kind of, I guess you could call them almost like a core memory of how it spread and leaked everywhere and creates something more beautiful than I would ever be able to do on my own if I were to try to render a beautiful blended bleed like that. I sometimes go quickly in with the darks just to know how dark I need to get the face. It's a little risky because if I touch this dark blue with when I'm painting the face, it might bleed into the face, but I just try to work as carefully as possible. So if you're a beginning watercolor artist, I would suggest sneaking up to the darks. In my case, I'm just going for it. I know if I kind of mess up this whole thing and botch it, I could just start a new one and learn from this one. Watercolor tends to dry a little lighter, so I'm going in kind of dark. I'm trying to go in more bold and map out more of the shadowy colors. The model has a tan, so I'm trying to replicate that kind of golden glow that his skin complexion will get in the sun. And that'll kind of play off of the blues in the background and create a lot of life in the painting using these two complementary colors, oranges and blues. It's not pure orange I'm using, but it is, the brown does read kind of on an orangey reddish side. This is my favorite part about painting a portrait is when you get these shadows in and they just block out the form of the portrait. Many artists will be familiar with the stage we call it the ugly phase, where it might not be looking quite like a model. It might be looking like the model is melting and not really coming together, but you really just got to work through it. I put a little bit of the complementary color, the reddish brown, so I put more of a turquoisey green and blue on the side of the face. I'm also imagining that the water would be reflecting a lot of light. And I look at a lot of photos of people in the pool and see kind of how it creates the underside of their features in a little bit of a greenish pool color hue. At this point, I'm trying to commit more to the features of the model. Getting portrait commissions like this one are absolutely incredible. This collector told me multiple times to make sure I go with my style and stay true to Ryan Martin, aka Rai Rai Paints, and just stay true to myself as an artist when doing this portrait and not get too caught up with the likeness, but make sure I do a Ryan Martin portrait. And that just tells me this collector knows a lot about artists or their processes. And it's just one of the most freeing experiences to be commissioned to paint a portrait and do what you have envisioned rather than trying to check every box on a client's list. So it was a very freeing, wonderful commission I did. I did 3 of them and I just had such a blast doing them. I put a lot of my heart, all my energy, all my expertise I could possibly gather into each portrait. And it was easy to do when it's just you're inspired and you feel like you could do no wrong because somebody is commissioning your hand to create an expression of someone beloved. So you see me going in, pushing in even more of the shadows. The goal is to try not to overwork it too much and really let the watercolor show through. What I like about this concept, and I'm really glad this collector also chose from a genre of work I do. Ooh, I like that part when I kind of carved off the teeth. That was really satisfying. These details really just start to make everything pop, which is another favorite part of mine of creating these portraits. But yeah, so the idea of water and this water subject of somebody in a pool it just ties in so well with each other. So I want to make sure the watercolor portrait does feel like watercolor. So I'm trying my best not to over render it like I would do with maybe an oil painting, where I like to render things very smooth to they almost look airbrushed. In this case, I want it to feel like it's just floating together, all these pigments, and creating an image. I know you can see some of it on camera, but these are Winsor & Newton professional watercolor tubes that are packed with a lot of pigment. And if you see this portrait in person, those blues are just so radiant. If you haven't seen kind of an established brand's professional quality paints, you should definitely check it out and try them out. Buy one tube if you can of like a bright blue or some vibrant color, because the color is kind of unmatched. It's just so beautiful. It just looks like raw pigment sitting on the surface of the paper. I'm doing little small details to kind of carve out a little bit more of the likeness. I'm not too caught up with the likeness. I have it at my side. I look at the reference sometimes more than my own painting because I'm just kind of feeding off of it. I don't know this model personally at all. I've only met them once. So I'm trying my best to bring all that energy or expression that they had when I first met them into the portrait, including a little bit of whatever vibe the parent might have told me about them, and without checking any boxes. Here I'm pointing out at this beautiful granulation that happens, and that's the stuff I live for. It's so beautiful the way it just erodes away. And then the face is my favorite too, because it still reads as a shadow from far away, but up close it just looks like it's all melting apart. This masking fluid can be very deceiving. Right now I'm like, oh, I feel like I'm pretty much done with the portrait, but then I start erasing out the masking fluid, and in some areas in the face especially, it'll feel so harsh because I got used to the way the masking fluid looked. So now I got to dust it off, and I got to go back in and soften some areas and then add even more details. So not quite the midpoint, but kind of towards maybe the last 30% of the portrait, I'll take off the masking fluid to kind of see where I'm at. Now, it is a little bit of a stigma to use white watercolor. In this case, I'm using gouache to add in some extra whites and highlights and nicks of light colors and reflective light, mixing with a little blue sometimes just using straight white in the water. And while that's a rule for many people to not use white in your watercolor, for me, not going to follow those rules, and then really enjoy doing more of a mixed media piece and playing with it and pushing the portrait in the way I feel like would work best. So this is how it came out. I try to capture the very gentle eyes, that kind of peaceful, beautiful feeling you have as a kid when you're so free and you have no worry in the world, just floating in the pool during summer, is kind of what this whole watercolor pool series felt like. And this portrait, I feel like, would fit into that whole series, regardless of it being a commission, which I think is successful on my part and also on the collector's part for choosing this subject and concept and genre, basically, of work I do. So here's a completed image. Again, I was really happy with the way the hair came out. My favorite part is just the eyes. I feel like the whole portrait is about how delicately and carefully the figure is just holding their eyes closed in a very relaxed position. Hope you learned something from seeing this process. If you'd like to see more, please make sure you comment, like, subscribe if you enjoyed this as well, and I'll see y'all soon.